Dr. Maya Santos stood at the viewport of Deep Space Medical Station Hippocrates, watching the endless sea of stars while sipping her synthetic coffee. After 3 years as chief trauma surgeon on humanity's most advanced medical facility, she'd grown used to the peculiar mix of cutting-edge technology and crushing isolation that came with frontier medicine. The station's eye broke her reverie. Dr. Santos, emergency alert. Unknown vessel approaching on collision trajectory. Multiple hull breaches detected. No response to hails. Maya was already moving, muscle memory taking her toward the emergency response bay. How many life signs? Approximately 300 signatures, but they're unusual, doctor. Not matching any known species patterns. Prep all operating theaters, Maya ordered, her mind racing through possibilities. Alert the full trauma team and... The ship dropped out of FTL, and Maya's words died in her throat. The vessel was massive, easily 3 times the size of the medical station, its sleek lines marred by what looked like massive claw marks torn through its hull. Energy patterns she'd never seen before flickered across its surface like neural impulses through dying tissue. By all the saints, she whispered, that's a warship. The vessel's automated systems must have locked onto the station's medical beacon. As Maya watched, emergency pods began launching from the wounded ship, each one carrying critical patients according to the station's scans. First pod docking in 30 seconds, the AI announced. Doctor, these beings, their biological structure is unlike anything in our database. Maya snapped on her medical gloves. Well then. Time to write some new chapters in xenomedicine. The pod doors hissed open, and Maya got her first look at the aliens. They were tall, with bodies covered in what looked like living crystal, now cracked and dulled. What she initially took for armor was actually part of their anatomy, overlapping plates that shifted and moved with each labored breath. I need vital signs, she called out, moving to the first patient. Her medical scanner threw up error messages, unable to make sense of the alien physiology. The crystalline being's plates were cycling through colors: purple, green, deep blue, in what she suspected was a sign of distress. One of the less injured aliens stepped forward, holding up a device that projected holographic medical data. The symbols meant nothing to Maya, but the urgency in the alien's multi-tone voice was universal. Your technology. Incompatible, it managed in broken standard English. Our medical systems. Failing. Please. Help. Maya looked at the wounded alien, then at her primitive human medical tools. The alien's technology was clearly centuries ahead of humanity's, yet here they were, asking for help. She made her decision. Get me a basic microscope and traditional surgical kit, she ordered her team. Sometimes the old ways are best. We're going to have to do this the hard way. Observation, deduction, and good old-fashioned human intuition. As her team scrambled to comply, Maya addressed the conscious alien. I need you to tell me everything you can about your species' anatomy. We'll figure this out together. She picked up a datapad, ready to take notes. Let's start with the basics. What's the equivalent of blood in your system, and how does it flow? The alien's plates shifted to a lighter shade, which Maya interpreted as surprise. You would treat us without automated systems. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Your automated systems aren't working, are they? Sometimes the most advanced solution is to go back to basics. Now, tell me about these color changes I'm seeing. They're systematic, which means they must serve a purpose. For the next 12 hours, Maya and her team worked nonstop, combining the aliens' theoretical knowledge with human medical practicality. They discovered that the crystalline beings, who called themselves the Scathuri, had a circulatory system that used light as much as fluid, and that their plate colors served as vital signs for those who knew how to read them. Maya developed a crude but effective color chart that let her team diagnose issues faster than any malfunctioning scanner. When critical patients arrived, she used basic tools and observation to save lives that the most advanced AI couldn't help. As she finished stabilizing the last critical patient, Maya noticed the first Scatheri she treated watching her with all four of its eyes. "Your methods," it said, "its plates now a healthy amber. They are not what we expected from your species." Maya cleaned her instruments, her movements precise despite her exhaustion. Sometimes the best technology is the one you can rely on. Your medical systems are amazing, but they failed because they couldn't adapt. Humans. Adaptation is what we do best. The alien's plates shifted in what she now recognized as agreement. We came seeking help, believing we would find a primitive medical facility. Instead, we found wisdom we have forgotten. Perhaps there is much our peoples could teach each other. Maya looked at her impromptu color chart, then at the rows of recovering patients. "I'd like that. But first, I need coffee. Real coffee. Then you can tell me exactly what made those claw marks in your ship's hull, because something tells me we're going to need to be ready if it comes back." The Scatheri's plates rippled in what might have been a laugh. "Dr. Santos, I believe this is the beginning of a most interesting collaboration." The next 48 hours on Deep Space Medical Station Hippocrates became a crash course in xenobiology. Dr. Maya Santos found herself in her office, surrounded by holographic displays showing the increasingly complex structure of Scatheri physiology. "So you're telling me," Maya said, rubbing her temples as she addressed Commander Valter, her first Scatheri patient, "that your species basically runs on crystallized light." The commander's plates shifted to an amused violet, a crude simplification, but essentially correct. "Our bodies convert stellar radiation into biological energy through our outer plates. What you call blood is actually a photon-conducting medium." Maya grabbed her third cup of coffee, "which explains why your advanced medical pods aren't working. They're trying to treat your people like traditional carbon-based life forms." She pulled up a hologram of a damaged plate structure. "These injuries aren't just physical trauma. They're disrupting your entire energy conversion system." A commotion outside interrupted their discussion. A junior medic burst in, his face pale. "Dr. Santos, the patients in Ward C, their plates are turning black." Maya was moving before he finished speaking, Commander Valter close behind. They reached Ward C to find dozens of Scatheri writhing in obvious distress, their usually iridescent plates darkening to an ominous obsidian. Life signs dropping across the board, the station's AI reported. Conventional treatments proving ineffective. Maya studied the nearest patient, her mind racing. "If their bodies ran on light, get me the strongest UV lamps we have in storage. All of them. And I need every mirror and reflective surface you can find." The staff stared at her for a moment before scrambling to comply. Commander Valter's plates rippled with curiosity. "What are you planning? Your people absorb stellar radiation, right? Well, we're going to make our own star." Maya began arranging the UV lamps as they arrived, creating a complex pattern of light and reflection. "Your medical pods tried to heal the physical damage first, but that's backwards. We need to restore your energy system before the physical repairs can take." Within minutes, the ward had been transformed into a disco ball of medical innovation. Carefully positioned mirrors bounced amplified UV light across every surface, bathing the patients in artificial starlight. Slowly, the blackness began to recede from their plates. "Remarkable," Valter observed. "Such a simple solution, yet none of our medical eye ever considered it." Maya adjusted a lamp angle. "That's because your AI thinks like a Scatheri. You're so advanced, you've forgotten what it's like to solve problems with limited resources. Humans, we're still pretty good at that." As the patients stabilized, Maya noticed something odd in their recovery patterns. "Commander, these injury patterns, they're systematic. Whatever attacked your ship knew exactly where to strike to disrupt your energy systems." Valter's plates darkened momentarily. "You are perceptive, Doctor. The attack was not random. Our enemies, the Void Hunters, they have studied our biology for centuries. Their weapons are designed to disrupt our photonic processes. Tell me about these Void Hunters." Maya said, adjusting another lamp. The more we know about their tactics, the better we can prepare for treating their specific types of damage. The commander hesitated, plates shifting through complex patterns. They are ancient, predatory. They live in the darkness between stars and hunt species that rely on light. We thought our advanced technology would protect us, but they found your weakness anyway. Maya finished. Just like we found your strength. Sometimes the best way to defend against an enemy is to understand your own vulnerabilities first. She watched as her improvised light therapy continued to work, her mind already racing with possibilities. Commander, I have an idea. Your people have technology we can barely comprehend, but we humans have something just as valuable. Centuries of experience fighting in the dark. Valter's plates shifted to an interested blue. What are you suggesting? Maya smiled, the kind of smile that had gotten her through medical school and countless impossible surgeries. I'm suggesting a trade. You teach us about your photonic biology, and we'll teach you how to fight when the lights go out. Because something tells me those void hunters aren't done with us yet. As if in response to her words, the station's long-range sensors pinged. Multiple objects, moving fast, their energy signatures almost invisible against the backdrop of space. Maya looked at the approaching signals, then at her recovering patients. They had maybe 48 hours before those signals reached them. 48 hours to turn centuries of human medical experience into a weapon against the darkness. She pulled up a new holographic display. Right then, let's get to work. Tell me everything you know about these void hunters. Every injury, every attack pattern. Because this time, we'll be ready for them. The deep space medical station Hippocrates hummed with frantic activity. Dr. Maya Santos had transformed the primary cargo bay into an improvised research lab where human medical equipment sat alongside salvage Scatheri technology. Holographic displays showed the approaching Void Hunter signatures, now just 36 hours away. The key is in their hunting pattern, Maya said, manipulating a 3D model of the last attack. She stood before a mixed team of human medical staff and recovered Scatheri warriors. They don't just attack randomly. They target your photonic circulation system with surgical precision. Commander Valter's plates shifted in agreement. For millennia, we responded by building stronger plates, more advanced healing pods. Yet they always adapted. Maya nodded, pulling up microscope images of damaged Scatheri plate tissue. Because you were fighting the wrong battle. Look here, the Void Hunters aren't just causing physical damage. They're introducing a compound that blocks photon absorption at the cellular level. The revelation sent ripples of color cascading through the assembled Scatheri. One of their scientists, Dalven, moved closer to examine the images. Impossible. Our scanners would have detected any foreign substance. Not if you were only looking for what you expected to find. Maya countered. She switched to a different image, this one showing the same tissue under ultraviolet light. Human medicine learned this lesson centuries ago when fighting biological weapons. Sometimes the weapon isn't what kills you. It's how it changes your body's natural processes. She turned to her human medical team. Sarah, how's the synthetic photon conductor coming? Dr. Sarah Chen, the station's biochemist, pulled up her own display. Initial tests are promising. By combining Scatheri photon-conducting fluid with human blood plasma proteins, we've created a hybrid that can temporarily bypass damaged plate sections. Like a biological fiber optic cable, Maya explained to the confused aliens. If the Void Hunters block your natural photon absorption, we give your bodies an alternate pathway. Not perfect, but enough to keep you fighting. The station's AI interrupted with a priority alert. Dr. Santos, new contact detected. Single Scatheri vessel. Heavily damaged, requesting immediate medical assistance. Maya was already moving. Prep the emergency bay. Commander, I need your best warriors ready to repel boarders if this is a trap. Everyone else, continue the preparations. The incoming ship was smaller than the first, a scout vessel with its crystalline hull nearly shattered. As the wounded were brought aboard, Maya noticed something different about their injuries. These weren't the precise strikes of previous attacks. These were messy, desperate. "They're changing tactics," she muttered, treating a particularly severe case. "Commander, look at these wound patterns. The Void Hunters are getting frustrated, attacking without their usual precision." Valter's plates darkened. "Because we survived. Because you helped us survive. They have never failed to eliminate a target before." One of the new arrivals, barely conscious, grabbed Maya's arm. Their plates flickered weakly as they spoke in broken standard English. "The darkness, it learns, adapts, but so slow, not like you, not like humans." Maya stabilized the patient while processing this information. "That's it," she said, excitement creeping into her voice. "Commander, what if that's been the Void Hunter's weakness all along? They adapt, but they do it slowly, methodically. They've never faced an opponent that could change tactics as quickly as humans can." She pulled up a new holographic display, this one showing the station's defensive capabilities. "We've been so focused on treating the injuries, we haven't thought about preventing them. Commander, how much of your ship's defensive technology can we salvage?" Valter's plates shifted to a curious green. "Perhaps 30%. But without the full system." "We don't need the full system," Maya interrupted. "We just need enough to combine it with human medical knowledge and improvisation. Sarah, remember that experimental regenerative field we were working on for burn victims?" Dr. Chen's eyes widened. "The one that accelerates skin regrowth. But that's not stable enough for..." She stopped, understanding dawning. "Unless we use the Scytheri photon conductors to stabilize it." Maya grinned. "Exactly. We create a hybrid defensive field, part human medicine, part alien technology. Something the Void Hunters have never encountered before." She looked at the approaching enemy signatures on the long-range scanners, then at the room full of humans and aliens working together. They expect a purely technological defense. Instead, they're going to face something completely new: human medical innovation combined with Scytheri advanced science. Commander Valter's plates shifted to a color Maya had never seen before, a deep, burning gold. "In all our history, no species has ever understood our biology well enough to attempt such a thing. You truly believe this can work?" Maya checked the countdown timer. 32 hours until contact. "It has to work. Because if it doesn't, we're about to have a lot more patients than we can handle." She turned to address the entire room. "All right, everyone. We've got 32 hours to turn this medical station into a fortress that can heal and defend at the same time. Let's make them regret ever thinking light-based life forms would be easy prey." Deep Space Medical Station Hippocrates had been transformed. What was once a place of healing now bristled with an unlikely fusion of human and Scytheri technology. Dr. Maya Santos stood at the primary observation deck, watching the last preparations as the Void Hunters' signatures grew stronger on their sensors. "Final field test complete," Dr. Chen reported, adjusting the controls of their hybrid defensive system. Streams of modified photon-conducting fluid pulsed through hastily constructed conduits, powering a network of regenerative field emitters. "The biological interface is stable, but we've never tested it under actual combat conditions. None of us has ever fought the Void Hunters and survived to study them properly," Commander Valter added, his plates shifting in complex patterns of anticipation. "Until now." Maya checked the countdown timer. 50 minutes until contact. "Status report on our patients. All critical cases have been moved to the central ward." The station's eye responded. "The modified UV therapy chambers are functioning at optimal levels. Emergency response teams are standing by." The first visual contact came earlier than expected. The Void Hunters' ships seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Irregular shapes that hurt the eyes to look at directly. Their movement patterns were unlike anything in human or Scytheri records, more organic than mechanical. "By the stars," Valter whispered, plates darkening. "They sent a full hunting pack." Maya's voice remained steady. "Everyone to your stations. Remember the plan. We're not just defending. We're gathering data. Every attack is a chance to learn their tactics." The first strike came without warning. A beam of pure darkness lanced out from the lead hunter ship, aimed directly at the station's most vulnerable point. It met the hybrid defensive field in a spectacular clash of energies. "Field holding," Dr. Chen called out. "The human regenerative components are actually adapting to their attack pattern." Maya watched the readings carefully, just like human tissue adapts to trauma. "Commander, your turn." Valter triggered the modified Sktheri weapons, sending precisely calibrated bursts of concentrated light through the gaps in the Void Hunter's attack formation. The enemy ships twisted away, but Maya noticed something crucial. There, see how they recoil. They're not just avoiding the light, they're protecting specific areas. Sarah, adjust the spectral analysis. Focus on their reaction points. The battle transformed into a deadly dance of light and shadow. Each Void Hunter attack taught them more about their enemy's biology. Maya's medical training let her spot patterns in their movement that military tacticians might have missed. They're not machines, she realized, watching their reactions. They're organic beings, using technology to amplify their natural abilities. Which means they can be hurt. Valter finished, plates brightening with understanding. Not just fought, treated. Maida's fingers flew across the control panel, recalibrating their defenses. "We've been thinking like warriors when we should have been thinking like doctors. These aren't weapons we're facing. They're symptoms. Sarah, remember that technique we developed for treating photon rejection in the Sktheri?" Dr. Chen's eyes widened. "Reverse the polarity. But at this scale." "Do it," Maya ordered. "Commander, on my mark. I need every bit of power you can give to the regenerative field emitters." The Void Hunters were preparing another coordinated strike, their ships moving into an attack formation that had probably spelled doom for countless civilizations. But they had never faced an enemy that could heal as efficiently as it could fight. Maya waited until they were fully committed to their attack run. Now, the hybrid defensive field exploded outward, transformed into a massive version of their medical regenerative field. But instead of healing, it forced the Void Hunters' ships to experience something they had never encountered: accelerated photon absorption. The effect was immediate and devastating. The darkness-adapted beings found their natural defenses overwhelmed by carefully calibrated bursts of therapeutic radiation. Ships designed to hunt light-based life forms were suddenly filled with more light than they could handle. Multiple enemy ships breaking formation, the AI reported. Their energy signatures are becoming erratic. Maya watched as the mighty Void Hunter fleet, terror of countless star systems, retreated in disarray. They had expected to find prey and instead found a new kind of predator, one that could turn their own hunting strategies against them. Commander Valter's plates shifted through colors of awe and respect. "In all our centuries of warfare, we never considered healing could be a weapon." "Not a weapon," Maya corrected, watching the last enemy signatures fade from their sensors. "A treatment. We didn't just drive them off. We showed them they're vulnerable. That's going to change how they hunt forever." As the station's crew began assessing the aftermath, Maya returned to her patience. There would be time later to analyze their victory, to refine their defensive techniques into something both species could use. But for now, she had wounded to treat and a medical station to restore to its original purpose. "Doctor," Valter called after her, "I believe the humans have a saying about teaching someone to fish." Maya smiled, understanding the commander's meaning. "We didn't just save your people today, Commander. We taught you how to heal yourselves. Although," she added with a grin, "I still recommend keeping a few human doctors around. We're surprisingly useful in a crisis." 6 months after the Void Hunter incident, Deep Space Medical Station Hippocrates had evolved into something unprecedented in human or Sktheri history. The once quiet medical facility now served as the galaxy's premier center for xenomedicine, its halls filled with beings of light and shadow alike. Dr. Maya Santos stood in her expanded research lab, surrounded by a new generation of medical students, both human and Scathuri. Before them floated a holographic display of a Void Hunter biological sample, obtained during the battle. Understanding your enemy's biology, Maya lectured, is often the first step to finding peace. The Void Hunters weren't evil, they were hungry. Their entire species evolved to feed on photonic energy. Our breakthrough wasn't beating them. It was finding a way to help them feed without hunting sentient beings. She gestured to the synthetic photon chambers lining the walls, each one producing carefully calibrated light that could sustain a Void Hunter without harming them. The first diplomatic contact had been made just weeks after the battle, when a lone hunter ship approached the station not to attack, but to communicate. Commander Valter, now the Scathari ambassador to humanity, entered the lab. His plates shimmered with the deep gold that Maya had come to recognize as pride. The latest reports from the frontier are encouraging. 3 more hunter pods have accepted our offer of sustainable feeding stations. They're even sharing their knowledge of dark space navigation. Maya nodded, remembering how that first conversation with the hunters had changed everything. They weren't mindless predators, but sophisticated beings who had been trapped in an evolutionary cycle of hunt or starve. The medical station's hybrid technology had shown them another way. Doctor, a young Scathari student raised their hand, plates shifting in curiosity. Is it true that you developed the hunter feeding stations using human medical waste disposal techniques? Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, Maya replied, pulling up schematics of the station's original recycling systems. Human hospitals learned centuries ago that waste management was as important as treatment. We just scaled it up and modified it to process excess photonic energy instead of biological waste. The station's AI interrupted with a priority alert. Dr. Santos, the first graduates of the xenomedicine program, are ready for their certification ceremony. Maya looked at her chronometer in surprise. Time had passed so quickly since they'd established the galaxy's first cross-species medical training program. The initial class included humans, Scathari, and even 2 reformed Void Hunters who had shown remarkable aptitude for understanding biological energy systems. As she made her way to the ceremony hall, Maya passed the memorial wall they'd installed. It displayed a simple hologram of the station during the battle, surrounded by the names of all who had served that day. Below it was inscribed a phrase in multiple languages: "To heal is to understand." The graduation ceremony itself was a testament to how far they'd come. Beings of light and shadow stood together, each trained in understanding not just their own biology, but that of species entirely unlike themselves. The Void Hunter graduates had developed techniques for using their natural darkness manipulation abilities in surgical procedures, while human doctors had learned to interpret the subtle color changes of Scathari vital signs. When I first came to this station, Maya addressed the assembled graduates. I thought I knew what it meant to be a doctor. I thought medicine was about fixing what was broken. But you've all taught me that true healing is about building bridges between different ways of existing. She gestured to the viewport, where a Void Hunter ship was peacefully docked alongside Scathari vessels and human transports. Look out there. 3 species that once would have tried to destroy each other, now working together to advance medical science. That's not just diplomacy. That's healing on a cosmic scale. Commander Valter stepped forward, his plates displaying the formal patterns of an official ceremony. In recognition of this achievement, the Scathari High Council has designated Deep Space Medical Station Hippocrates as the headquarters for the new Galactic Medical Exchange Program. Maya felt her throat tighten with emotion as she looked at her graduates, the future of interstellar medicine. Among them was Sarah Chen's young protege, already pioneering new techniques in photonic surgery, and a Void Hunter who had developed revolutionary treatments for radiation-based injuries. Remember, she concluded, that every patient, every species, every biology has something to teach us. Our strength lies not in our advanced technology or our sophisticated techniques, but in our willingness to learn from each other. As the ceremony concluded, Maya returned to her office, now cluttered with artifacts from a dozen species. On her desk sat her old stethoscope next to a Sc-Theory light scanner and a Void Hunter darkness modulator. 3 different approaches to understanding life, working in harmony. The station's AI spoke softly. "Doctor, long-range sensors are detecting an unknown ship approaching. Bio readings suggest a species we haven't encountered before." Maya smiled, already reaching for her medical kit. Some things never change, and she wouldn't have it any other way. "Well then," she said, "let's go make some new friends."